Start the shit. What are you doing?
What's going on? Jeff Hardy, the Charismatic Enigma here, and you are watching the Common Sense Ain't Common podcast.
Bitch, I'm that damn good. Smoking on some good, some rosy on the wood. Standing on the shit so you can get it understood. It's pedigree in me because I'm that damn good. Bitch, I'm that damn good. Bitch, I'm that damn good. Smoking on some good, something rosy on the wood. And bitch, I got the belt so you just get it understood. It's pedigree in me because I'm that damn good. Bitch, I'm that damn good. Big old body I'm turning, big old wood I'm burning, big old money I'm yearning, big old I'm earning. I put her in for a designer,
Plus, you know,
behind her.
I'm about to give her that weight. Yeah, she ain't there living like China. I'm on the stripes to referee. I put a ring on the Stephanie. Me and the team is building a legacy, winning the gold separately.
You couldn't find this thing.
Bitch, I'm
that damn good. Smoking on some good.
Yo! I'm sorry. Oh, sorry, it's been a while. Yo! Yo, ladies and gentlemen, thieves and crooks alike, content stealers and creators, welcome to the Common Sense Ain't Common podcast hosted by the illustrious, your role model, the blueprint, Dame Don. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this week's episode. It feels absolutely tremendous to be back in the studio. You know, like I haven't been here for a little while, you feel me? I've been getting ready for WrestleMania, you feel me? I look fucking homeless, you feel me? I'm getting a haircut on my birthday. March 29th is my birthday. Put the countdown up here. March 29th. Last time I put the countdown up there, they were supposed to put the Cash App under. They didn't put the Cash App under because they said they thought that was tacky. So they didn't put the Cash App under there. This time we're going to make sure that the Cash App is under there. In fact, in case they don't want to put the Cash App under there, it is SDAMEDONN. Like, not S, but you know, the little, you know, the dollar sign. So look, on this week's episode, we will be discussing traveling alone. There's a lot of people that feel a lot of different ways about traveling alone. I definitely used to be in the boat of I'm never traveling alone until I had to travel alone. So we'll definitely get into that. And then I definitely do have a before we get started with all of that, of course, make sure you all follow me on the social networks at Dame Don on Twitter and Don Life with 2 N's and 2 E's on Instagram. And we already going through the whole thing. So you already know who can and cannot follow me. New people to me, welcome and follow me on Twitter. People, if you know me already, if you still think you know me from high school 10 years ago, you know people still think they know me from high school 10 years ago. I wasn't even having sex like that in high school 10 years ago. I'll be diving in some shit now, but you know what I'm saying? Back then, you don't know me. Bitch, you don't know me, now you knew me. Bitch, this ain't a problem, I'm the solution. Okay, anyway. Let's go ahead and get started with the before we get started. Let's just talk about this coffee mug. First of all, let me just, hold on, because there's shit in here. And I'm a little clumsy. Look at this. Look at the detail. Coffee mugs and merch will be on sale soon. There will be a lot of good things coming to the Common Sense Ain't Common podcast. There will be a lot of good content coming to the Common Sense Ain't Common podcast. I'm very excited. I wish I could share it with you, but you know somebody's sitting here watching me like this. So, you know, I feel like before I start the podcast, I feel like we should just start saying this.
Say it with us. Swipe, no swiping. Swipe, no swiping. Swipe, no swiping.
Does that work in real life, or does that only work indoor? Like, does that not work in real life? Like, that doesn't stop y'all from stealing? Oh, okay. I want to start by saying I've been blocked on Facebook since February 28th for simply saying the word bitch. Mark Zuckerberg, whatever the fuck your name is, Mark. Keep your fucking hands off me. I've been blocked. I can't even promote my podcast properly because I'm blocked on Facebook. You feel me? There's a lot of shit that goes into the Facebook. All my wrestling accounts are on there. If I didn't have Twitter, I would be going through it right now. But you all are so lucky. Twitter is my main app, you bitch ass nigga. Keep your hands off me, Mark. And I don't know how they got it to pull off, production pulled some strings, so I will be unblocked by my birthday. Shout out to production. Shout out to... They finally did something fucking right. Finally. But fuck you, Facebook. Fuck you, Mark. And I'm not coming back after my suspension. How about that? Promo purposes only. Promo purposes only, Facebook. Fuck you, Mark. Every season is almost upon us. G-Smother. We are 5 days away from Aries season, the best season that there is. All of you loser Geminis and loser Pisces and loser Sagittariuses and loser Virgos and loser Scorpios and loser Capricorns and loser Cancers. All of you are fucking losers. You all pale in comparison to what exactly the true zodiac is. You feel me? Y'all pale in comparison. And it's no wonder everybody copying me because we are the first zodiac sign. You feel me? So it all makes sense. We're number one just naturally in life. You feel me? Just naturally in life. Speaking of people copying me, do you know that when I first started my podcast, I wrote somebody and tried to ask them help for something? And they told me, oh, bro, I'm going to teach a class. And now they copying me. Play it again.
Swipe. Swipe. No swiping. Swipe. No swiping.
Of course, in Aries season is my birthday at the end, March 29th. We did just heard about that. For my birthday, I am headed to the granddaddy of them all, the grandest stage of them all. I am going to WrestleMania Night 1, WrestleMania Night 2, Monday Night Raw. Then I'm flying back and going to Friday Night SmackDown. Can you not tell me this is not the best birthday gift I have ever given myself? Like, this is finna be amazing. I genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, don't understand how I'm about to get through this. And I was talking to one of my friends, and they was like, oh, that's nice, because, all the shows is 2+ hours. 2+? Monday Night Raw on Monday is 3 hours alone. What do you mean 2+? That's 3 hours alone. WrestleMania usually goes for about 5 hours, bro. So the fact that I'm going to have to get through that Friday, Saturday, or the fact that I'm going to have to get through that Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, I'm very concerned. I'm very concerned. I am very fucking concerned how I'm going to get through WrestleMania week, but I'm going to make it through. I don't care if they have to roll me out on a fucking stretcher. Everybody is going to bow down to the queen, whether she wins or loses. We'll talk about that on Friday, but everybody is going to bow down to the queen. I'm going to make sure that everybody knows that rarefied air is being breathed. I want them to bend the knee. I want them to sit up straight, and I want them to bow down to the queen. Bow down to Miss WrestleMania. Bow down to the... Woo! Sorry, I just had a moment. I really enjoy Audio Week. According to my views, a lot of you did not. The non-wrestling episodes were actually kind of okay, but those wrestling episodes, they weren't really feeling those at all. So that is why I am back in studio. If I'm going to be truthful, I was definitely going to try to do Audio Week until after WrestleMania. I definitely was. I swear to God I was. I was going to do Audio Week until after WrestleMania. But, I'm back. The results, the surveys are in, the numbers are back, and you didn't like it. So here I am. And, hopefully y'all start to come back. Come on back and sit down. Go and sit down. Get them some waters and some granola bars, a couple strawberries. Oh, she's fat. Give her some fruit. But, just make sure that everybody's comfortable. Come in and sit back down. We're back in the studio. Come in and sit back down. But yeah, apparently y'all did enjoy Audio Week. I enjoyed Audio Week. A couple of y'all enjoyed Audio Week. I'm not going to say everybody, but majority of y'all did not. So I'm back, But Audio Week will be back at some point because I really do enjoy doing audio podcasts. I do feel like for a video podcast, it takes a lot to do a video podcast. And audio is just a lot easier. Like you can just sit there in your fucking boxers and be monotone. And that's it. Like for the camera, you kind of got to be on for the camera. So it's a bit of a difference, but I enjoy doing both. I enjoy both. But, audio is just easier because I can just kind of get up and do it. Speaking of get up and do it, make sure you all are getting y'all... Oh, I thought that was a doorbell. Make sure y'all are getting y'all fucking asses up and working, just like Kim said. Get your fucking ass up and work, bro. It be a lot of shit going on behind the scenes. I know y'all be busy stealing and shit, stealing content and ideas and shit, but it be a lot of work going on to these ideas, to these concepts. You gotta get your fucking ass up and work. If you feel like it's not working, you're not working hard enough. You're not investing hard enough. Invest in your brand and believe in your brand. Nobody is going to believe in you for you at all. Nobody is going to believe in you for you. I'm definitely probably just going to do a whole episode on that Kim clip of what she said, get your fucking ass up and work, because I actually feel like it will go inside with a couple surprises that I have in store down the line. So once I announce those, I think I'll do that all in one episode because they kind of go hand in hand because I've been getting my fucking ass up and working. So hopefully that inspires you all to get y'all fucking ass up and work, just like my content inspires all of your content. I don't have a commercial this week. Commercials will be returning. Podcast promo will be returning next week. There is a couple people that reached out to me, and it was quite a while ago, so I'm still trying to actually find them. I need to dig through my DMs and actually find those people again, but there were some people that reached out to me, so I'm going to go back through and find those. At this time, we don't have any commercials, but I do just want to quickly plug a couple brands. Shop Solo Wave, shop Highly Favored. He still don't got my fucking size. Fucking Solo Wave still don't got the fucking colors I need in my size. Highly Favored still don't got the fucking colors I need. And just shop Anaco. Fuck everybody else. Just shop Anaco. No, I'm just playing. Shop Solo Wave, shop Highly Favored, shop Anaco. Make sure y'all are supporting black-owned businesses. Speaking of black-owned businesses, I got this hoodie off some girl on Facebook. She was just going viral, and it's a Black Lives Matter hoodie with all of the cartoon people on it. I can't think of her name. I know her name is Tia, but I can't think of like her design thing. I'll put it at the bottom. But make sure y'all are shopping black-owned businesses. Support y'all people. Our people. Support us. Yeah, support us. Because, I'll be having merch soon. Traveling alone. Are you still scared to travel alone? Why? I know that there's a lot of people out there that are just simply against it. I was actually talking to a couple people and they just flat out told me, no, I can't do it. I'm not doing it. Like they just simply can't travel alone. I feel like to a certain extent, not even just traveling alone, but I know a lot of people that simply can't do shit alone at all. I feel like that is kind of a problem if you just can't go kick it by yourself. To a certain degree, that's a problem. Like I do understand always wanting to be around people and shit like that, but to a certain extent, it's a problem not wanting to like just kick it and chill and relax with yourself. Like I feel like that's a problem. I always kind of wanted to take a solo trip, but just the idea of it was just like, nah, bro. Like that shit just seemed like it's not it. Like I'm not taking no trip by myself. It just seemed like it's not it. It just don't seem like something I want to do. And so when I actually took my first trip, I was actually booking it with somebody, and then at the last minute they decided they didn't want to go or couldn't go or whatever the case was. And then I'm still like, well, I still want to go. So, like, I still went. And that's just kind of how that went. But, like, I always wanted to take a solo trip. But I feel like unless that had happened, I would have kind of always been stuck in the, oh, I want to take a solo. What do you call that? Jumping rope. Like, you don't know when to jump in type shit. Like, oh, I want to take a solo trip. I don't want to take a solo trip. I do. I don't. I do not. I don't. Like, you just don't know when to jump in. So I feel like until I was, like, forced to take one, that's when I was really like, oh, shit. Like, this shit is nice. Like, and I'm also, like, naturally friendly, too. I can honestly make a friend anywhere. I can make a friend anywhere I go, and we gonna fucking laugh for sure. Like, I can definitely just be, going to get something to eat and somebody sitting there and start talking to them. Like, I don't know how I can do that, but I can literally make a friend anywhere. So I kind of feel like that I have that to my advantage, and maybe that's why it's easier for me to do trips and stuff like that. But the first trip was definitely like an accident, and then when I went, it was honestly like one of the best experiences I've ever had. And not to say like I don't enjoy traveling with people, or I didn't enjoy traveling with people, or the people I have traveled with. That's not what I'm saying at all. But when you go on a solo trip, it's just a completely different vibe. Like, you can literally just get up and go do whatever the fuck you want to do whenever the fuck you want to do it. Like, it's just a different vibe. Like, I was in California and I was in the hotel. I just woke up out my sleep. I was literally just waking up to go smoke at the car, and then come back to the room. I ended up all the way on the fucking Hollywood Walk of Fame at 3 o'clock in the morning, and the streets was still packed like it wasn't 3 o'clock in the morning. Like, you can literally do whatever you want to do when you out there by yourself. Like, I didn't have a charger, nothing. My phone died. I literally had to go to the gas station and buy a charger for $10. I had 2 chargers at the hotel, but I was just living in the moment, spontaneous. Like, you don't have to worry about nobody being like, oh, I don't want to eat that, I don't want to go there. Like, everything you do is catered to whatever the fuck you want to do. Like, I really feel like that is the best part. Like, I can't stress that enough. Like, it's literally whatever the fuck you want to do, and like, you're kind of so at peace in a way that when you get back, you almost don't want to be bothered with nobody for a couple days. Because when I first got back, I'm like, bro, I just don't want to be talked to for 2 or 3 days. Like, is that okay? Like, just don't talk to me for a couple days. Like, that's just kind of how I feel every time I come back from a trip. Like, I just kind of don't want to be bothered for a couple days. Sometimes I do, and sometimes I don't. Like, it just kind of depends. Like, it's just a completely different vibe being by yourself and being out there and enjoying people. Make sure you got Tinder. I'll definitely be on Tinder out here, motherfucker. But make sure you got Tinder or something, so you got something waiting out there for you or something. You know what I'm saying? Just, you know what I'm saying? Make sure you got a Tinder or something. Make sure you got somebody waiting out there for you once you get out there. I think you'll be good. Like, I really don't want people to be like, because I've had people even write me like, how do you take trips by yourself? Like, how do you like it? What do you think about it? Like, it's really, truly, honestly, one of the best experiences I've ever had. And I don't mean travel and meet somebody that lived there. Well, you can do that, but make sure you get your own hotel. Make sure you're not just under them the whole time. You can definitely do that as like a cheat code. And I guess I kind of have that as a cheat code too, because I know people fucking everywhere. And I don't even know how I know people everywhere, but I know people fucking everywhere. I made a post on Instagram not long ago asking, like, WWE had like a little pop-up shop in Los Angeles. And so I made a post like, can one of my Los Angeles friends send me this? And I wasn't thinking like anything of it. And 4 people wrote me trying to like send me the hoodie. But I just couldn't bring myself to give them my address. Cause like, I just don't know y'all. Even though it was like y'all in LA and it was a good gesture, like, I just couldn't bring myself to give y'all my address. I don't know why. But like, yeah, it was people reaching out to me like, bro, I'll get the hoodie for you. What size do you need? And so one of the people even told me, oh, don't pay me for the hoodie back, just pay me for the shipping. But I just couldn't give you my address. Like, I don't know why, but I just couldn't get him my address. But yeah, I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. But yeah, he told me like, yeah, just give me the shipping, bro. You don't even gotta pay for the hoodie. Just give me the shipping. And I'm just like, you know what? That's okay. I don't know why. I just couldn't. I don't know. I just heard something today, too. Like, after you say a statement, you shouldn't say, I don't know, because it kind of leaves it out there. Shout out to Simone. She posted that on her IG story. I was watching that while I was at work. And that kind of spoke to me in a way, because, I do say, I don't know. I literally just did it. So, anyway, I did already touch on this, but I can't stress this enough. You got to be able to interact with people. You got to be able to... Because honestly, with my solo trip, my main concern, honestly, like once I knew the solo trip was happening and I was the only person going and they had backed out and got their money back for shit and shit, my only concern at that point was, all right, fuck it. Who's going to take my pictures? That was the only thing I was thinking about the whole time. I'm like, bro, I got like 6, 7 outfits. Who the fuck is taking my pictures? But that wasn't really a problem, actually. Everywhere I went, I found somebody, and I can real quick, hey, excuse me. Hi. Can you take my picture? Real fucking quick. Can you take my picture, please? Would you mind? Would you mind? Can you assist me with a picture? Like, yeah, just make sure you're able to interact with people. But swear to God, that was my main concern. Like, who the fuck is gonna take all my pictures and all these outfits with all these places I'm going? And that's another thing too. Whenever I travel any fucking where, St. Louis was the only place that I couldn't do this with, and this is how I knew they didn't have shit. But everywhere I travel, I always have a list of shit that I'm going to do, that I'm going to see, like all that shit. Places I want to try to eat, all that shit. I don't have it down like, okay, Monday I'm going here, Tuesday I'm going here, Wednesday I'm going here, because I don't do short trips. You know, my trips are a 4 to 6 day minimum. That whole weekend shit, I don't do that unless I'm going to like a wrestling event or something like that. And that's because the weekend trips, when I go to a wrestling event, be the same goddamn price as the 6-7 day trips when it's just not a wrestling event. So it ain't really no fucking difference. With the wrestling shows, I just be in and out. Other than that, I don't do weekend trips, 4 to 6 day minimum. I always have a list of shit that I'm going to do while I'm there. I don't have it dissected into days, but I always have, all right, I want to go to the museum. I want to go to the fucking... I just do anything that I wouldn't normally do. In St. Louis, I was going to fucking gardens. Like, I would never go to a garden here, but why not? Why not? What else am I going to do? What else am I going to do? I went to a fucking garden. Like, just do stuff that you wouldn't normally do, and you'll enjoy it. You'll be able to get some decent pictures, and at least you'll be able to say you did it. Like, and I also have like a bit of a souvenir addiction, a souvenir problem. I'm like, I have to buy souvenirs everywhere I go. Like, I have to buy souvenirs. I don't know why I have like this souvenir obsession. The two things I must get is a fucking shot glass and a coffee mug. You remember I showed you that stuff from St. Louis? I have to have those two things. If I don't get anything else, I have to get those two things. Just a couple tips I want to... Hold on, sorry, I got an email. I'm very much on my clock. Very much so. A couple tips I have for y'all. I don't tell people like the city I'm from. If they ask where you're from, I just be like Wisconsin, because you know when you traveling, they always ask those kind of things like, oh, where you from? I just say Wisconsin, and then if they don't say, the only way I'll tell you where I'm actually from, I'll be like, oh, Milwaukee, is if you be like, oh, well, I used to work in Sheboygan, or oh, well, I used to have friends in Oconomowoc, and then I'm like, oh, okay, I live in Milwaukee, but most of the time, people don't even know what the fuck Wisconsin is. So I just tell them Wisconsin. Like, and then the follow-up question usually to that is, well, what part of the, what do they say? What? Because you know how they ask you, like, Midwest, West Coast. Like, what is that called? What coast are you on? What coast is that? I don't know. But they usually ask, whatever that question is, they ask, like, what part of the, whatever that is. And I usually just say, like, Midwest. That's why I always say I don't belong in no fucking Midwest. Give me to the West Coast immediately. I don't belong in no goddamn Midwest. Do you see what's going on here? I don't belong in no goddamn Midwest. But I never tell people where I'm actually from. And then also when I do travel alone, and you know I'm just meeting people and talking in casual conversation, I never tell people that I'm by myself. I never tell people I'm by myself. I always tell them, oh, I'm with my cousins. I'm with my brother. And be like, oh yeah, they just didn't like, cause when I went to the garden in St. Louis, I had asked this guy to take my picture, and he took the picture. And he's like, oh, are you here by yourself? And I'm like, no, I'm here with my cousins. They just didn't want to come. They dropped me off. And then it was so funny because I told him and his wife that they dropped me off. And then when we was walking out, we walked to our cars at the same time. I mean, what the fuck you gonna do to me? But still, it was just funny as a bitch that I had straight up lied and was like, yeah, I'm here with my cousins. They dropped me off. And the whole time I'm walking to the car and shit, that shit was funny as fuck. I was cracking up in the car. But yeah, I never tell people I'm actually there by myself. Like, I just don't know why. Like, you're not finna try to cut me up and put me in a fucking box or none of that shit. So make sure you tell them that you actually there with somebody. If you meet somebody at the bar, if you take somebody back to your room, you and your Tinder date, hook up, whatever. Tell them your brother in another hotel room, your cousins down the hall. Do all that shit. Say all that shit. Make sure they there. Also, another tip. Make sure you keep that fucking, what do you call that? the do not disturb thing on the hotel, keep that shit on the outside of the door unless you need housekeeping. Ain't no reason for anybody to be coming in or anybody to be coming out that you don't know. So I don't even let housekeeping come in my room. Like, I'll sleep on the same sheets for like the first 2 nights. I ain't even gonna hold you. I sleep on my sheets at home longer than 2 nights. So I'll sleep on my sheets for the first 2 nights. After the first 2 nights, after them towels get low, you need to bring your ass on in here and clean this shit up. But until that process happens, I'm good. Stay the fuck out of here. Because I always also think, like, one of my biggest fears is traveling alone and, like, just having my hotel, like, ransacked. Like, just having housekeeping run through my shit. And I used to work at a hotel, so maybe I look at shit a little differently. Because the hotel I used to work at was fucking wild. Like, not necessarily saying, like, they was going in people's rooms and shit, but it was some crazy shit going on. It was some crazy shit going on in that hotel. So, like, I'm always just kind of on edge and just make sure you always do that. And make sure you always get a hotel with free parking, too, because what the fuck am I paying $50 to park my car for? That's how they tried to get me like that at St. Louis. It was like $12 a night. I was so happy I was only there for a weekend. I was mad as fuck. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean $12 a night? I may or may not have disputed that when I got back. There's a lot of good tricks of the trade. It's a lot of good things that you'll maybe even learn about yourself on a trip. Like, just take that time and just be at peace. It was even a couple days where I just wasn't even texting nobody back. Like, I wasn't texting nobody. Like, I was dead ass not having no, like, human interaction aside from the people out there. Like, there was some days where, like, people would text me and they'd be like, oh, how is it? Oh, it's good. And that's it. Like, just let them know I'm alive and shit. Oh, it's good. That's it. And then, you know, I'll talk to you tomorrow or something. I'll call you in the morning. But it was definitely some days where I just don't even want to talk. Like, I just want to be here by myself. Because I very much believe when you're on vacation from everything. Not just work, from people, from pets, from kids. You on vacation from everything. I don't like to take nothing with me on vacation, like baggage-wise, mental baggage. Like, I remember I went to California for my sister's wedding. I went out there by myself. I literally sat on the beach for just 2 hours, bro, just thinking, bro. My phone was in my bag. Like, I was just thinking, bro. I was just out of it. High as a bitch, just on the beach, just thinking. The only reason I got up and left was because a fucking crab came. That was the only reason I left. He threw the whole fucking vibe off. I just opened my eyes and there was a fucking crab there. So it just threw my whole vibe off. But I definitely feel like if you thinking about taking a solo trip, but you nervous to, hopefully this helped you, like, get out there. Hopefully I help push you out there, because definitely take the trip. I promise you it will be one of the best experiences of your life. If you're not really big on it, I say maybe start with a weekend trip. You know, ain't nothing wrong with weekend trips. I just personally don't take them. So, you know, start with a weekend trip if you don't think you'll like it. Just go somewhere, maybe not that far if you don't think you'll like it, but I enjoy it. I love everything about traveling alone. I'm not even going to hold you. If nobody ever wants to travel with me again, I genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, don't give a fuck. Another thing, too, is after I went on that first trip, and I seen that I could just kind of pay for everything myself, and I didn't really need help paying for the rooms and the hotel, and when I noticed I didn't really need help paying or splitting everything, and I could just pay for all that shit myself, that's when I was really like, oh, it's over. Oh, it's over. Because, like, the money thing was always a thing, too. I was like, oh, like, damn, I don't want to, you know, have to pay full for everything. You know, if you go with somebody, you can split it. So that's always better. So that was always one of my things, too. Like, oh, I'll just split this shit. But, shit, once I figured out, or not even figured out, but once I realized I could pay for all that shit, pay for all the deposits, and still have enough money to do everything I wanted to do, it was a fucking wrap. It was a fucking wrap. That was all I needed to know. That was all I needed to know. And hopefully this was all you needed to know. And this will help you get out there and take that solo trip. That is all I have for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. We are finally back in studio. I will be here Friday for our wrestling episode. And then I'll be here next Monday. Hold on. Because in a minute I'm finna be out of here. So we got 2 more episodes until WrestleMania. You got an episode next Monday, and then the Monday after that is the episode the day before my birthday. So we'll have a birthday celebration episode. I don't know what the fuck we gonna do, but we're gonna have a birthday celebration episode. And there's clearly something wrong with me mentally. I cannot record and upload on Mondays for some reason. Like, even when I know I need to, or I have it in my mind, like, all right, I'm finna record, I just can't. I don't know what the fuck the deal is. I don't know what the deal is. But thank you guys so much for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I will see you Friday. For those of you that don't watch the wrestling episodes, turn that shit on in the fucking background so I get the view time. Turn it on in the background. I'm done saying see you Monday. Turn that shit on. Watch that shit in the background. Have it on while you sleep. I don't give a fuck. And then after that, I'll see you on Monday. Deuces.
I got a cold shoulder for a fuck nigga if he prove he a mob. I'm pulling up, I got the hammer. I threw an X on the banner. She ain't there throwing that ass at me, but I would not fuck if she Bama. She call me Billy like badass, I call her Billy like Jean. I never slack on the fast cash, even the jacket is jean. If it's a problem, I'm coming